Berani berbicara, berani mengubah dunia. So today I am delighted to have given a chance to enact my podcast. So today's podcast theme is democracy. So I will just start right away. So we are used to thinking very highly of democracy and by extension of ancient Athens, the civilization that gave rise to it. The Parthenon has become almost a byword for democratic values, which is why so many leaders of democracy like to be photographed among its ruins. It's therefore very striking to discover that one of ancient Greece's great achievement, philosophy, was highly suspicious of its other achievement, democracy. In the dialogues of Plato, the founding father of Greek philosophy, Socrates, is portrayed as hugely pessimistic about the whole business of democracy. In Book 6 of the Republic, Plato describes Socrates falling into conversation with a character called Adeimantus, and trying to get him to see the flaws of democracy by comparing a society to a ship. If you were heading out on a journey by sea as Socrates, who would you ideally want to be in charge of the vessel? Just anyone, or people educated in the rules and demands of seafaring? The latter, of course, said Adeimantus. So why then, responded Socrates, do we keep thinking that any old person should be fit to judge who will be a ruler of a country? Socrates' point is that voting in election is a skill, not a random intuition. And like any skill, it needs to be taught systematically to people. Letting citizenry vote without any education is as responsible as putting them in charge of a trireme sailing to Samos in a storm. Socrates was to have a first-hand catastrophic experience of the foolishness of voters. In 399 BC, the philosopher was put in trial on trial charge of corrupting the youths of Athens. A jury of 500 Athenians was invited to weigh up the case and decided by a narrow margin that the philosopher was found guilty. He was put to death by hemlock, in a process which is, for thinking people, every bit as tragic as Jesus' condemnation has been for Christians. Crucially, Socrates was not a elitist in the normal sense. He didn't believe that any of you should only ever vote. He, however, insists that only those who had thought about the issue rationally and deeply should be let near a vote. We have forgotten this distinction between intellectual democracy and democracy by birthright. We have given the vote to all without connecting it to that of wisdom. And Socrates knew exactly where that would lead to a system that the Greek feared above all, demagoguery. Ancient Athens had painful experience of demagogues. For example, the large figure of Abilichatus, a rich, charismatic, smooth-talking wealthy man who eroded basic freedoms and helped to push Athens to its disastrous military adventures in Sicily. Socrates knew how easily people seeking election could exploit our desire for easy answer. He asked us to imagine an election debate between two candidates, one who was like a doctor and the one who was like a sweet shop owner. The sweet shop owner would say of his rival, "Look, this person here has worked many evils on you. He hurts you, gives you bitter poisons, and tells you not to eat and drink whatever you like. He will never serve you feasts of many and very pleasant things like I will." Socrates asks us to consider the audience response. Do you think the doctor would be able to reply effectively? The true answer, "I cause you trouble and go against your desire in order to help you," would cause an uproar among the voters, don't you think? We have forgotten all about Socrates' silent warning against democracy. We have preferred to think democracy as an ambiguous good, rather than a process that is only ever as effective as the education system that surrounds it. As a result, we have elected many street shop owners and very few doctors. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Goodbye.